Hi, I'm Kara Pogreba. Welcome to Bright Hope Creations. Today I have the exciting privilege of coloring some new images from Purple Onion Designs illustrated by Stacey Yacula. So I start with stamping them out, and these are red rubber stamps. So I'm putting them in the MISTI using just a piece of acetate with some double-sided tape on the one side, and then I spray it with a little mist of water on the other, which will create a seal on my MISTI. And I'm stamping it out in Memento Tuxedo black ink so that I can color with Copic markers. Red rubber stamps up extremely well, especially on these tiny details, but I have an area that didn't stamp or didn't ink up as well, so I just restamped that. I'm starting with the bird, and I'm starting with my lightest color, which is a BG quadruple 0, just to find where I want those shadows, and I'm marking those out as the way to identify where those shadows are. I do this most often because if I don't like where I've decided a shadow should be, then I really haven't messed anything up. I have used my lightest color, so it doesn't matter. And when I think I like those, I go to the next darker color, which here is a 000, and decide I can go a little darker, and so I'm on to the BG10, and on his blue areas, the wings and the top of his head, I'm going to stick with mostly BG11, BG10, and then for the areas that are going to be white, I'll color those with BG quadruple and 000, but also I'm going to add in a few other colors. I think it's E50s, but we'll see. All right, now this is a BG23, and I think this is a kind of a nice color in between BG11 and BG13. I'm trying it out as that. And on this little guy, I want him to have some kind of a more muted shade of blue-green, so this is a BG45. I think that's as dark as I go. And then I just blend that all out. But the main colors are the BG10 and 11. This little guy is part of the foreground of this picture, so there's a lot going on, and I want to make sure that he and his little friend are the focal images. And that's where coloring gets interesting, because he's a light little bluebird, and I want to keep him that way. So how I get around that is he will have a dark red background in the upholstery of the roller coaster, and that will pop him up to the foreground. So I'm putting in some E50s, giving him kind of more of a natural look to his feathers, not so bright. And then I will blend it in with the BG00. It's kind of like when I do the inside of an animal's ear, I will color it with a gray or a brown, neutral kind of thing to show the depth of the inside of the ear, but I'll come back with the color of the animal's fur and blend over it to just give it more of the natural look. And here I'm just going back in and adding in those shadows again, anything that got blended out too much, and then I'm blending that all back out. I take a long time on this guy. I'm kind of fussing with him. I just want him to have as much detail as he can without looking like he's just getting darker. So giving him more depth to his shadows and more interest with the variation of color with the E50 and then the BGs. So now I'm starting with the little pig, and I'm just going to map out those shadows as well with my lightest color. And here it's the RV 000. And this snout, when I look at a pig online, if I'm looking at an actual pig, the image, the snout is pinker on some of them. I mean, all pigs are different, right? But I mostly see for a cute pink pig, he'll have a bit brighter, pinker snout, and the body will be a little bit more of a duller color. So that's what I'm gonna look at with this guy, but I don't know that in the end I really focus on that. What I really want to show mostly is the depth between his body and the snout, because the snout would be in front. So I want to give more shadow around that, but I also don't want it to look like I'm putting a ring around or a circle around the snout, because then it just starts to look a little odd. And so I have a bit of a shadow on the snout as well on the bottom, because it's not totally flat. So I want to give that, and then also to his nostrils. But when I'm working around the snout, I will go a little bit to the left and under the snout, and then also on the top of the snout. That way I don't look like I'm just drawing a ring around it, even though you might see shadow all around it, because it is a lot in front of the rest of the body. I hope that makes sense. So now I'm able to kind of blend out from those shadows, because I've put in my darkest ones, and I'm just pulling it out towards the inside of the image. And you can see I have a bit of a shadow around the eyes as well, because I want to show that is a little bit of depth. And then up there by his ears right here, and also on the right ear, to show a bit more interest, to show that there's a difference between the head and where it connects to the ears. And now with my lightest colors, I can kind of connect those shadows. So the blending of underneath his snout can blend into where the shadows of the eyes, and then can go up to the shadows that are making the head look rounder by showing the difference between the head and the ears. I'm just getting everything blended out there. And so I'm looking at that snout now and thinking, I really don't want it to be a darker, brighter, pinker snout, because I like how this is looking, and so I just let that go. He's just not going to be one of those pigs. So coming back in and just giving a little more color where it got blended out, and then that will pretty much do it for the RV colors. But that bright RV pink is not what I'm looking for with this guy. As with the bird and how I put in those E's, now I am bringing in the R000 to kind of change his color up a little, make him a little more natural. So he's more of a peachy pink pig, but not so peachy as just a straight R 00 or 000. And so this kind of gives a nice blend color. I like this for a pig, to kind of put in some reds and pinks together to get a nice pinky peach color for his body. And as with the bird, I'm really taking my time on these images. I want to make sure that you have a really good depth for the shadows, but that he still remains pretty light as an image. I guess part of the reason that I'm showing this coloring of just these two images, or these two animals, is because I'm going to focus on how I would color these in detail and not show all the different parts, because that would be very long. So I do have another video, and I will link it here, to show some tips on how I color in backgrounds, and these images will be already colored up. So as I just feather out the last of this lightest color, I want to let you know that these stamps are available at Purple Onion Designs, and it is Stacey Yacula's Sunny Meadow Fair stamp collection. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, if you would give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.